10 a.m. and welcome to the Rains County Commissioners Court meeting, which was posted on May the 6th, 2026 at 3:14 p.m. both at the courthouse steps and also online on our website. And oftentimes other people in other offices, other elected officials also post on their Facebook page. Today we have a quorum of commissioners. So with that, I hereby call this meeting to order, and we'll stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation, and I'll ask Mr. Willis to pray for us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for this morning, this beautiful weather that you've blessed us with, and we thank you that we can gather and take care of some issues and items for the county this morning. We pray that you give us wisdom in what we do, and we pray you will be glorified in our lives and the things that we do. We ask all this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Willis. Need to work him as hard as we can. Just as a point of clarification, we have for the library, this is specifically for the library, it looks like we have one group that wants to speak to the books that are actually in the library itself, which I assume you'd want to do in public forum. Is that correct? Okay. All right. And then we have another group that's here to participate in the public forum for accessibility. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Same group? Different group. Okay. So that's how we'll divide those up. And the ones that are speaking on behalf of the illicit books would go in public session, I assume. And we have a thank you to the sheriff's office. That's great. And then we have Gunner's Mission. Two people who need to speak for that, along with other two that are separate and independent of anything I just described. So I think we can leave those there. I'll do this up. So I've tried to keep these in the order from which they came to me in, with the exception of the grouping. So at this time, we'll consider public testimony, and I would encourage you to, for those of you that have been here before, it's always fun to give us feedback from the audience, but today, and moving forward from today, just out of respect to the court, this office, and the building that we sit in, the only discussion that will be had would be discussion that's done through public session or through that mic up there. So please don't. If you have anything to say, you need to fill out the form and bring it up here now, because we will not be accepting any public comments, nor will we respond to public comments from the board. And then also in public session, the public session where while we can respond in public session, we're not actually encouraged to do so unless it's very specific and on topic with whatever we posted. And so we'll be limiting that participation as well to no participation from the court itself, but obviously from a public session standpoint, you can come and speak what you want, as long as it's cordial and complies with our policies that are in the back for the rules of procedure and conduct and decorum. Which y'all have been really good about doing for us. And then lastly, before we start, I will stay after this meeting is over with, and I'm happy to meet with anyone that would like to meet with me individually after this meeting is over and after the Commissioners Court has concluded this business here today. So feel free to look for me anytime after this meeting is over. So the first person to have sought out this prestigious effort here to speak just today is Mr. David Bryant Perkins, Dr. Evans. Dr. Perkins, did I get it all right that time? Dr. David Bryant Perkins.
Oh, yeah, just call me David. No, I got that for myself, not to be pretentious.
Hey, you've earned it. You deserve to be called.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to pull up your document that you sent this morning. Yesterday.
Well, I guess that would answer the first question that I had was how much does the Sister Cities program cost? Not that I've already joined it. I'll take care of the flying the mayor over here. As you can see from those documents, even a town such as ours can bring in millions of dollars. And I'm going to give you an example of that today. But first, I have to give an analogy. Back in the 90s when I was living in Poland, I was taking the train to Berlin, and there was a lady standing by the train with a big box of cigarettes, cartons of cigarettes, and she was handing out 2 cartons to everybody that was getting on the train. Well, I didn't smoke, so I didn't take any. So anyway, when we got to Berlin, she was standing out outside the station, and everybody would come and they'd give her 2 cartons of cigarettes back. And I went and talked with her. I said, "What's going on here?" And she goes, "Well, the Germans only allow us to bring in 2 cartons of cigarettes, and this is how I make my living, because you can buy cigarettes real cheap in Poland, they're very expensive in Germany." And that's what she did in order to what's in Poland translated called maneuvering around the laws. And interestingly enough, when that was going on over here in Rains County, County Judge Mutt Brazil, am I saying that right? County Commissioner Benny Fisher, Commissioner Jerry Robinson, Commissioner Gary Bishop, and Commissioner Robert Bob Fisk made the arrangement for Ivan Smith Furniture. Y'all remember that when we did all that? In order to have their distribution. Now they sort of did the same thing. They said, "Hey, we'll give you this land, come on, whatever, $1 or something extra, real cheap." And said, "But just wherever you make the sales from this, and here or in another county, we get that." That's clever. I think that was something that was just totally ingenious, and in a way, they're both related. They're both maneuvering around. Of course, other counties got upset because they weren't getting it, and I think they had to change the law in Austin in order to do that. The point is, that's what, in a way, Sister Cities can be for us. It's a way to maneuver around a lot of things because you're starting something in another country, which maybe the state of Texas, you have to get y'all's lawyers to do that. Now, it may seem that you need a specific example on how I've certainly given a lot in the deal, but I'll give you one right here. Marcia mentioned that my newsletter she shares with other people. And thank you for that. That actually happened to me. I wrote basically what's in the newsletter. I had a Dear Abby column in Poland, and people would write me with stuff and everything, and the same thing happened. They would send it to their friend in Warsaw. In fact, it became so popular, we made a book of all that stuff. And this is it here. Of course, it's in Polish. But the point of it is just to let you know, I'd love to have, for example, y'all come over, and I think it's me. Okay, it's in the dark. He would be he'd be a celebrity. Because first of all, they understand Texas Sheriff. Now y'all can go and okay, you're a city official. They know what that is. There's a whole cultural mystique and myth about it. If you went over there, he'd be a celebrity. And I'm sure later on we can get you all to do that. But just to show you how to finance it, when I go over there, I'll do a lecture, I'll do a book, go all over. Well, half of whatever I make when I go over there, I'll donate to roads and bridges. I'll make that commitment right now, so that you can see when you have something like that. That's just me personally. But when you understand, and when I try to let you all know what's going on in Poland, you'll go, hey, I can do this. By the way, they have a furniture factory in Cheshire as well. There's a lot of research that went in to find out which is the best thing. So, will Rains County get a Sister Cities program? Can billions of dollars be brought over from another country over into Rains County? Tune in again next week. Or Texas goes to Chechen, or International Energy.
Mr. Jay Ford.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm here today to talk about a community concern that, honestly, I kind of came across it on Facebook, like our social media, gurus of the county. And I did a little research on that, and it's really around the county's legal responsibilities for animal control, rabies control, dangerous dogs, and enforcement of state animal welfare rights. So, once again, we're not talking about, any large animal control department. We understand the authority and things like that. This is more about the county's responsibilities and compliance, with state laws. So I did some research and I pulled up, these health and safety codes that were referenced in a lot of these cases and kind of summarized a little bit. So under Texas Health and Safety Code section 826.017, the Commissioner's Court of each county shall designate an officer to act as the local rabies control authority. And once again, this is not optional language. It says, the county shall do that, and the person is responsible for enforcing the Rabies Control Act, including vaccination, quarantine, and rabies exposure requirements. Under section 826.021, dogs and cats are required to be vaccinated against rabies by 4 months of age. If Rains County does not have a clearly designated, publicly identified local rabies control authority, then the citizens have no clear path for bite reports, quarantine decisions, rabies exposures, or enforcement. The next thing comes under Health and Safety Code Chapter 822, Dangerous Dog Laws, requires animal control authority to process dangerous dogs determinations, registrations, restraint requirements, insurance requirements, and seizure when owners fail to comply. In unincorporated counties, that authority may be the county animal control office or the sheriff, but somebody has to be responsible. The third item is under Health and Safety Code section 821.102. Texas law now establishes minimum standards for dogs left outside and restrained. Dogs must have access to adequate shelter, an area free from standing water and excess waste, shade, and potable water. The law also prohibits certain restraints, including chains and unsafe restraints. So the question today is, who in Rains County is responsible for enforcing those? And if the answer is the Sheriff's Department, then the county should say that publicly, and the Sheriff's Office, make sure the Sheriff's Office has the right policy, training, forms, processes, and all the resources needed to do that. If it is someone else, then it should be identified so the citizens know. Just asking the Commissioner's Court to put this on, do your research, put this on a future agenda, and kind of come back to the county with how is this really supposed to be handled, and are we in compliance? Specifically, who's the designated local rabies control authority? Who handles dangerous dogs and reports the registration? Who enforces unlawful restraint and minimum outdoor dog care laws? And if the county has claimed exemption under Chapter 829, then we just need to see and share, where we adopted that exemption. Basically, this is, not doing anything, just making sure in our transparency and stuff, but to show the community that we are compliant and how we are being compliant. Thank you.
They came in class. All right, we have Miss Lisa Krieger. There you are. You're behind the podium there. I'm sorry. I was looking for you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Sheriff Hopkins, for being here. And is anybody from Rodenbridge is here? Yeah, and there's my buddy Corey. I just want to give everybody.
Well, Ronnie's back there too. He just didn't raise his hand.
So, I just want to give everybody props because I think we really have some nice people that work for our county and try to do their best to do a good job in extenuating circumstances. So, anyway, I'm here as the past Rains County GOP chair. I'm no longer in that position. I'm representing precinct 407 though, so I'm not going anywhere. Just being a little smaller. And so I wanted to just bring and make everybody aware that there are three things I think that the county is obligated to take care of. And that is our security. So thank you, Sheriff Hopkins. And thank you, Sheriff Hopkins, also for giving me the information. I asked for information about the books that are allowed in the Texas penal system, and that's 10,000 books. So I have a chore ahead of me to research the 10,000 books and see which of those books are in our county library. So thank you for doing that. Going to have a big job. So I'm here today just wanting people to understand the importance of words. And if I could just beg your indulgence for just a minute, I'd like for everybody to just close your eyes and imagine, because I know everybody's done, hopefully everybody's done that, is read a book. And so if you'll indulge me, just close your eyes and act like you're in your bed like a little 5-year-old. Panda bear, what do you see? I see a bald eagle soaring at me. Bald eagle, what do you see? I see a water buffalo charging by me. Water buffalo, what do you see? I see a spider monkey swinging by me. So I think everybody's heard some version of this book, and you can picture in your mind what's going on with Panda Bear. But my biggest concern with this is visualizing the importance of words and what they mean are the books that are in our library. And this is one of them, what a girl's made of. And I just want to read you a portion. You can see all the little tabs that I have there. And just read the difference between those and imagine this. Soft now, his penis shrinks inside me and then slips out. When I get up to go to the bathroom, a running path of signal like egg whites trails down my leg. I am horrified. It feels like I've just peed myself. I don't know what I expected. I guess I thought it would just sort of absorb inside of me, or really, I guess I never thought about what would happen at all. The other times when we didn't use a condom, Seth would pull out and come on my stomach, or those 2 times on my back, and then he'd use his t-shirt or sock to wipe me off. But this time, as I walked to the bathroom, connected to my room, the sticky wetness drips down my thigh, a couple of drops falling silently to the carpet. And it gets worse. This book contains words like ass, bitch, cunt, dick, the F word a lot of times, piss, and SHIT 16 times. So this book, in my view, does not need to be in the, I'm going to say minors, because there's no such thing as an adult section. And so I've done the research. I don't have a copy of the page that you do to actively ask for this book to be viewed. And I've emailed back and forth with Bernadette over what expressly she wants, because I did, in the beginning, I gave her 22 books. I gave her the book looks, and that wasn't appropriate. But she did tell me that when I need to write exactly what I don't like about the book, that I cannot use words like inappropriate. I can't use the word pornography or obscene. So she is silencing my speech. So I thought what I'd do is just read the book and let everybody look at it, and it will be back there if you want to look at it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sherry Messinger? Sherry Messinger. Good morning.
Yeah. I'm Sherry Messenger, and I'm precinct chair for 204. And I have a book here called Ready Player One, and it's got a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna. It talks about, it says here, she was depressed all the time, taking drugs seemed to be the only thing she truly enjoyed. Of course, they were what eventually killed her. When I was 11 years old, she shot a bad batch of something into her arm and died on a radio fold-out bed while listening to music. She was much easier to deal with when she was high. Another section goes into it. You could also purchase the ACHD, anatomically correct haptic doll, if you wanted to have more intimate encounters inside the Oasis. The doll came in male, female, and dual sex models, which were available with a wide array of options. Realistic lipstick skin, servomotor-driven exoskeleton, stimulated musculature, and all with the attendant appendages and orifice one would imagine. This book was also made into a movie by Steven Spielberg. And I looked that up, and I have not seen the movie, and I don't know whether it's edited for any stuff or not, but the movie was rated PG-13. This book is in the young adult, which is 11 to 17. This one is called Unravel Me. And and it says, it starts, there's one section here with a girl that's in a mental institution. And it says that she spent most of her life in hospitals and juvenile detention centers, was cast off by her own parents, and she was so power hungry that she killed a small child. She tortured a toddler. She brought a grown man gasping to his knees. She doesn't even have the decency to kill herself. This one I'm going to read some of it. His hands were at my waist, trembling just a little, waiting for my permission. Yes, and I don't protest. His breathing is harder now, leaning into me, resting his forehead against my shoulder. He places his hands flat against the center of my stomach, only to inch them down my body slowly. There's earthquake happening in my bones. shifting from panic to pleasure. He takes a deep breath. For a moment, I'm paralyzed, searching his face for a sign of pain or danger. And we both exhale, and I see him attempt to smile. And he blinks and his eyes change. They are deeper now, desperate hunger, searching for me like he's trying to read the words etched inside of me. And I can already feel the heat of his body, the power in his lips, the strength in his chest, and I don't have time to stop before he's kissing me. These books talk about, goes on there, there's also on there. Anyway, it goes into a lot of different sexual toys, a doll you can get. And it goes into talking about death and wondering about suicide and what it's like to be dead. And both of these books are in the 11 to 17 section of the library, which is not separated from the children's. You can just walk down the aisles and you walk into it from the children's, and then you're in another section.
Thank you. Thank you. Linda Smith. Good morning.
Good morning. This is very hard. I'm Linda Smith, Precinct Chair 102. And, I just want to make clear that no one expects the library or whoever runs the library to be able to read every book that comes into that library. So I don't know that anybody have any idea some of the content, some of these books. So we're not trying to place any blame on anybody. We're not people trying to get them removed. Although I think that, to me, would be a good idea. But at least have them to an adult section or have them separate out. I mean, there used to be adult bookstores everywhere. I know they don't have so many anymore where people could go get stuff like this. But, you get stuff on the internet, there's no reason for them to really be to me, to be in a public library. But if they wanted to keep them at least separated, show it as an adult section. That's all I'm asking. And I just marked a few places. The summary of concerns on this is the female of the species. This book contains excessive, frequent profanity, sexual activities, violence, sexual nudity, underage alcohol use, drug use, and sexual assault. And I'm just going to read a couple. And I also have the books. I'm just going to read two, but I have the books marked. But we did check the books to make sure this is factual and that this is the wording that's in the book. So I do have that marked if anyone wants to look to see if this is what's really in there or not. The one says, I'll lean against him as I drink, not caring that the present person with slightly greasy hair and an obvious drug problem. A hand is on my spine, pushing down into my pants and past my panties, fingers twisted in search. I know it's not right because he's practically carrying me now. There's a voice in my ear that says, come on, preacher's kid. We'll take you to church for real. They've almost got me out into the darkness and a nearby fire pops, bringing a brief flash of light as my eyes slide shut. I see a cartilage stud and raised ear as my head falls toward onto his shoulder. Then I'm gone. And another one says, you rubied her, she says. I'd like your mouth better with my dick in it, bitch, the blonde says. And I go for him, but Alex's arm is across my chest. And I think that's funny. And as Lisa was saying, as the profanity count, Ass is 13 times, bitch 11 times, dick 19 times, the F word 74 times. This one even uses God's name in vain 8 times. Piss 11 times, pussy 5, and SHIT 109 times. Now, I didn't go back through the book and count all those, but so I ain't taking this at their word, but the person that did this did say they counted. This one is called Vampire Academy. And this book contains explicit sexual activities, violence, gore, self-harm, references to attempted suicide, profanity, reference to abortion, controversial religious commentary, alcohol use by minors, and reference to drug abuse. Let's see. This is, oh, I get it. He said we had sex. Not like my reputation was that stellar to begin with. Everybody already believed I had sex all the time. And Ralph too, that you and he, Ralph, no amount of alcohol or any illegal substance would make me want to touch him. There's more. How did I sleep with the basketball team? He said, well, they both said you let them. Well, you let them drink your blood. Then stopped even me drinking blood during sex. The dirtiest of the dirty sleeps beyond being easy for a slut. A gazillion times worse than Lisa drinking from me for survival, blood war territory. And I mean, there's pages of this stuff. And just read.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Your time's up.
Do I?
Your time's up.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
You're happy to,
lots of
if you want to leave
profanities there.
that with us, you can. We're happy to.
Do I?
If you want to leave the rest of your stuff with us, we're happy to put that in the record.
Okay, you don't see the books?
No. Whatever, if you have something else you'd like for us to read, you can leave it with us and we'll look at it.
Do you need to read it?
We don't need to read it, but I think what you've covered is sufficient.
That's what I was hoping.
Thank you for coming out. Wanda McClanahan? Good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So glad to be here. And our Sheriff. I represent the Republican Party and the citizens of Precinct 203 and the children of our county. I have a book that, when it was shown to me, it is called The Absolute True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. Now, I was raised on the Navajo Reservation in New Mexico. I know about the Indians, so this intrigued me. But as I read through this, I was not pleased, because children talk one to another, and if they find a book that is raunchy, they'll tell the other. And children and young people will go and find out. They are all the time searching for stuff that we as parents should be teaching them. And I just get appalled to listen to the other books. But I want to talk to you. I was a teacher for kindergarten for many years. And when I come to this part, I was not happy. It's on page 201. And it's this young boy that has lost his sister. She died, and the teacher hugged him hard, and I have to admit that was a pretty dang good. Miss Warren was like about 50 years old, but she was still pretty and very active physically, and I reacted to her hug. And the thing is, Miss Warren was hugging me so tight that I was pretty sure she could feel my physical reaction. Yes, I was kind of proud, to be able to have this encounter with my teacher, 50 years old. No, I was mostly ashamed of my physical reaction to the hug, yet I had a big erection when I heard of my sister's death. To me, this is just so how would you say it? And for one of our teenagers, one of our young ones,
To read this. How perverted is this and how inappropriate or hormonal can one boy be? And this book also describes him as the master of masturbation.
I hope this shocks you.
I have been in the public. I'm 81 years old, and I have dealt with children and young people in teaching all of my life. I helped raise 5 grandsons. I would have just died if they'd walked into our library and will be able to handle this. They can go on the internet, yes, I know, and they can get books from other people, but citizens of our county, our tax dollars is going for this. I don't know how they're censored, but I think we need to take a better attention to this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Susan Milam?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm also a precinct chair of 101 Ranks County Republicans. And I think a lot of the reading has shown you that we've got a problem in our public library with books that are accessible to young people. That we really don't want them being groomed sexually for things that are going to live with them the rest of their lives. It's not something, when we read things, it creates pictures in our mind, and it forms who we are. And our job is parents and people in governance to make and protect laws to protect them so that they have a good life. None of these books that have been read today have anything that's in them. And it's really, really sad that even books are even written like this. There's so many things that are admonishing in the library, good books that enhance our lives, that make us smarter and stronger and better people and better citizens in our government. We have a convention that's coming up in about 3 weeks in Houston, the Republican Party. And we had a good legislative session in 2025, and that was last year. And one of the bills that was passed was SB 13, Texas Legislature 89th in the 2025 session. And that had to do with stop sexualizing Texas kids. And part of that bill was responsible for removing these kind of books from our school system. And the school has done a great job. But the public library has not been dealt with yet. And that's something in Houston we will be continuing to deal with this session. I am representing SB 8, Senate District 8. That means Rains County, Hunt County, and Collin County on the legislative priorities of this kind of thing. And I will be addressing this specific issue as well as the other priorities that we have. Other priorities are secure Texas elections. That's number 1 right now. But we're going to be changing those things in Houston. So I'm just going to leave my reading alone and leave that with you. But we can do better in Rains County, and we all want to work together to protect our kids. It's just really essential. Thank you for the library. Y'all did a great job. Okay, great job. I have some petitions from the fair that we just had in the Park Founders Day Fair about the library books that I'd like to leave with the court.
Sure. Come on up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Let's do something with this one. right, so the remainder of the library participation forms, it looks to me, you want to do that during the actual discussion we have in the public hearing, or would you like to do that now?
It's up to you.
Okay. In that case, then the next person is Julia Aga? Aga? How do you say that? Aga, very good. Please step forward. Good morning.
See if you were gonna get there.
Ma'am?
I was waiting to see if you were gonna get that name correct.
Yeah. Well, leave it to me to not get it right.
I hear. Oh, that's the name.
Exactly. I agree.
Commissioners, judge, sheriff.
He's dashed out.
Okay. I'm not good at public speaking, so. I'm here today addressing the report as a citizen of Rains County and a taxpayer. We as a county have no animal control, and our sheriff's department have the important duty of protecting the citizens and properties of Rains County, not to be out chasing strays who have been dumped by owners who push their responsibility off on others, including myself. We have rescues at maximum capacity. Strays are a countywide problem, along with hoarders who have dogs in deplorable, disgusting, and heartbreaking conditions. When an animal is dumped, they are in survival mode and scared. This stress on them can make them aggressive and a danger to children and adults. Are we going to sit back and wait for something to happen? Or are we going to be proactive and do something before it happens? I'm not here speaking out of emotions. I am here because I see the problem almost daily. I myself have taken in a dump dog, looked for its owner, nobody came forward, and I was able to find a home, a good home for the dog. My neighbor that lives a few houses down from me had a Great Pyrenees dumped on them. And she took care of that dog for 2 or 3 months before a Pyrenees rescue group was able to come through, pick up the dog, and take it to up north, where Pyrenees should be, not in the heat. This is a problem. So I have a few questions for y'all. I know in a prior board session that questions were asked about getting information from grants. Do any of y'all know if you have come up with that information? Yet? No? And my next question is, does a county possess or have in their possession any properties that are foreclosed on that possibly have 5 acres, 10 acres, that they would be willing, the county would be willing to put forward on maybe a rental or a usage, some kind of a deal to put a rescue, to get a building, fencing, and to put a rescue to take care of this problem? And then my next question is, and this is a big one, is there, I don't know much about government, I'm not, really, that's not my forte. Is there a way to get a special bond election on the election for designation for a rescue or something of that sort? A 1% tax increase, a $20 a year per taxpayer for Rains County, whatever it may be. Is there a way to get that done? Thank you.
Thank you. Brittany Hughes.
An inventory list. I need this part back, but that's just for y'all to know what I'm referencing.
Okay, all right.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm Brittany Hughes, and I reside at 445 FM 2737. I'm an active duty service member, a mother, and the founder of Farmers Mission and Pet Sanctuary. I feel like I sound like a broken record, and I apologize, but today I come here to remind you that everyone in this county has an animal crisis. Pretending that it's manageable without intervention is no longer realistic. This is not simply a few strays. This is a growing issue involving public safety, disease risk, overpopulation, neglect, and lack of enforcement. And ordinary citizens are being left to carry the burden largely on their own. On Tuesday, during a direct conversation with the Sheriff's Office, I asked what residents are supposed to do when aggressive or dumb dogs end up on their property. I was told, you just shoot them. This conversation was recorded if y'all would like to hear it. That response alone should alarm the court. Not because people in rural Texas don't understand protecting themselves or livestock, because we do, but because average citizens are not mentally or emotionally trained to euthanize animals repeatedly. Systems meant to address the problem do not exist in their failing. Especially the animal lovers, the families of children, especially people who are stepping in to help this county. We often talk about PTSD, mental health, trauma, burnout, compassion fatigue, yet people in this county effectively are being pushed into situations that can leave emotional scars. I'm trained military, and I can guarantee you that some people will carry the image and the guilt of that decision of shooting a dog for years. It is not easy. This is not a humane or sustainable long-term solution for residents asking for help. What concerns me more is that Texas already has laws in place regarding rabies control and animal bites. I did not know Mr. Ford was going to address that, so I'll just kind of skip through. You don't have my stuff, but the answer I did receive when asking those specific questions to the Sheriff's Office on Tuesday was that there is nothing in place. There is nowhere to quarantine animals that bite. There is no place that we are holding any type of rabies registration. That should concern every parent, rancher, animal owner, and resident in this county. Because when aggressive and unvaccinated dog animals are roaming freely, this stops being an animal issue and becomes a mental health concern. I recently visited a resident's property who permitted me to share his situation publicly because he knows he has a problem. We went animal by animal, and I provided you that list. He has 28 dogs on his property, 3 of which are pregnant. In a few days, that 28 dogs is going to multiply by 27 to 33 dogs, unvaccinated, not rabies. And that's just one example. I have others that I did not include in the neglect case where a warrant has reportedly already been signed, but from the outside looking in, that situation has completely fallen through the cracks. This is exactly why residents are losing confidence that these situations are consistently addressed before they escalate further. I also want to make something very clear. I'm not standing empty-handed, asking this to be solved for me. I've already formed a nonprofit in record time. My legitimacy and credibility has been questioned, so I have provided you all with all of the legal documentation that I am a legitimate 501c3. I have stepped into the work. Every meeting I come in a little bit humbler. I'm no longer the person asking for a state-of-the-art facility, because after months of going without help with resources, land, or influence, I've accepted that it's not likely going to happen. My husband and I are willing to use our land that we worked extremely hard for throughout our military careers over the past 20 plus years, and plant where we saved up to plant roots here in Rains County. This was never the vision when we built our dream home. Before I close, I would like to respectfully ask the court to place this on a future agenda for formal discussion so the community, leadership, law enforcement, veterinarians, and other rescues and concerned citizens can explore realistic solutions. But I also want to ask, how can I better assist you? Because I'm not here to complain, I'm willing to do the work. I would like to stay after and speak to you afterwards, if that is okay. I know I'm probably up, but we do need help. And I'm putting forth, I literally went to work this morning. There's a rule, I can't come in uniform. I had to run home, change out of my uniform, put this on, or run back, change back into my uniform. So I'm trying to juggle 2 full-time jobs, and I'm maxed out on my resources. I can't take in dogs, I'm turning down dogs 20 a day. And other rescues, they're full. But,
Thank
yes, sir.
Miss Brittany? You get lost here.
Terry Vickers. Is that a Coonstown Center?
Hi, my name's Terry Vickers. I live in Rains County. I'm not giving my address due to what happened to me a few weeks ago. But I just want to give a shout out to the Sheriff's Department and their quick acting for somebody that was looking through my window at 4:30 in the morning, stare at me, and one of my rescue dogs let me know. So thank y'all very much. And on the topic of the dogs that are causing a lot of trouble for this community, there's also the cats. We have a cat problem as well as a dog problem. I did call several of the veterinarians in this area to try to get some dogs euthanized. It's unsustainable to do a euthanization for one animal at $130 each and take that dog back with you. So we need some kind of program, if we can't save them, where we can take them to be euthanized. It's not what I would want to do. It's not what I have two that I love that were forced on me as well. So anyway, thank y'all.
Thank you so much. Nice work, Sheriff. All right. No more forms. Did I miss anyone? By accident? No. So the next thing on our agenda is to consider the consent calendar and the approval of that. Is there anyone that wants to pull anything off the consent agenda calendar? Off the consent agenda? Is there a motion to approve the consent items?
I move to approve.
Have a motion to approve the consent agenda calendar items.
Second.
Have a second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. That passes unanimously. The action items today are discuss and take action on East Texas Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse donation of $1,000 that was put on here by Mrs. Wolf.
Move to accept.
Have a motion to accept that.
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion on that?
One question. Have we done this forever? Yes.
The last 3 years.
Forever, probably not forever. Anything else on that, Jeremy?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. Discuss and take action on appointing Diana Wolf to the Injury Center Advisory Board. I'll put that on the agenda.
So moved. We'll take it.
Motion to approve it. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second? We thought we would get someone else to do it, and given the time commitment of and the stretch of me going myself, which is, I'd really rather have someone else. I think the pharmacy was on it last time.
The pharmacy,
Meredith.
Yeah.
hall.
Yeah, but
Oh, Mary
that's
Hall.
all. So I didn't want to do it. Spend some time. Andrew Center's asking us to do it, and we're working hand in hand with them. So I thought Mrs. Wolf would be a good appointment. Thank you for voting on that. All those in favor, aye. That passed unanimously. Next is to discuss and take action on appointing a nomination on the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Board of Directors. I placed it on the agenda, and I did not name anyone specifically. I'm happy to accept a motion, and then also the name of the person that you'd like to have as a part of that motion to serve on this board.
I think Lori Northcutt would be fabulous.
Is that in the form of a motion?
I will make that motion. She already runs our county health fair. And
All right.
I'll second.
right up her alley.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. That passes unanimously.
I guess I do. Oh, my.
That's called voluntold.
Yeah, voluntold, yeah. Okay,
Seriously, are you wanting to do it?
yes. Nobody warned me.
Can't talk beforehand, so she knew nothing about that.
I did not know nothing about this. Okay. I think it's Stacy Parker all the time.
Discuss and take action on paying overtime pay versus comp time pay for Rains County employees. Commissioner Cook put this on the agenda. You want to make a motion to discuss it?
I'll make a
Yes,
motion,
please.
we discuss.
Motion to discuss by Lori,
Second.
second by Jeremy. All those in favor, aye.
Uh,
Discussion's on.
I keep putting this on here because it was more of a morale thing for the deputies. It's a housekeeping item for our HR person, Stacy Parker. Comp time versus overtime for those that don't understand. For transparency's sake, if a deputy, if another employee in the county works overtime, if a road and bridge guy goes out in the middle of the night to cut up a tree, they get paid overtime. If who else gets overtime?
The judge, does the judge get overtime for cutting trees?
Overtime.
Dispatch.
Dispatchers, they get paid overtime. But if a deputy, because somebody is not there to work, the deputy, they volunteer, but if they don't volunteer, they may get voluntold as well. They need to work, and they don't get paid for it. They get comp time. Well, that doesn't affect our budget initially, but we owe that money to that employee in the future. If they get a raise between the day that they make that money and when they actually use that money, we have to pay more for those hours, that hourly rate in the future. So, as an employee, if I was an employee and I was asked to work overtime, but I didn't get paid, I just get future time and a half off. It's kind of it rubs me the wrong way. I would rather have my money right now. Some of the employees, I think, kind of use their comp time as a
savings.
like
program.
a vacation fund or a medical. We've got a guy out with a ankle surgery, so he's kind of cruising on that comp time now, which is good for him. But the way I look at it, that comp time balance is kind of like running a credit card balance. We, the county, owes that money at some point in the future. We don't know how much it's going to be in the future. And for morale for the deputies, we want them to get paid for the work that they do today. The hiccup in the whole thing is we don't know how much overtime we're going to have to pay. So it's hard to pick a budget number. And in the middle of a budget year like we are right now, we're struggling with trying to figure out how to transition it. And I don't know if we can transition in the middle of the year or if we do need to wait to the new budget year. We have some unused salary line items that we can use, but I defer to the auditor for any other input that she could bestow on the court.
Some of the unused sorry, not used to talking. Okay, some of the unused salary is, again, because of empty spots. Some of it is being used for other things. If you do have, we'll say, 2 deputies or jailers leave, and they have a large comp balance with them, well, that is going to use up some of that unused salary. You know, so it's, you cannot predict unused salary until it starts getting closer to the end of the year. A while back ago, I sent y'all an estimate. I calculated out the remaining payroll, so even that one is still going to be fairly accurate, because like I said, I did an estimation on the payroll. So this is something that is still, it's still too early to go in and say, hey, pay out the balances. So, and versus, are you talking now about switching from comp time to overtime now and talking about the outstanding balances? Because it's still kind of 2 different things.
Yeah, no, the main concern is not to pay off the comp time balances. I would like to do that, but the main thing is for the morale, and for the Stacy's bookkeeping to just go to strictly overtime pay and accumulate no more comp time.
This is really something that needs to be settled and worked out and budgeted during the budget process.
I think that's what I said last time.
So,
And I think too, and I don't know, you just keep saying deputies, but I think if you're going to do it, I think you go across the whole thing, right?
Right. They're the only ones that don't get paid overtime though. They just accumulate comp time.
Well, I know my maintenance guys don't either.
no,
So when Shane and I were up here till 2:00 in the morning trying to stop a fire alarm from going off, we get Shane out of bed at 10:00 and stay here till 2, and we say, hey, we'll give you some time off someday. So
so the only 2 people that get paid are road and bridge and dispatch. Everybody else earns comp time.
Yeah.
So every other position. So
No, it's just, in the past, we've had several gaps or several open spots in the deputy position. I feel like that's the hardest position to fill. So for morale, and they've been very good about it. They understand that we're in the middle of a budget year. Timing isn't probably perfect on this, but I guess as long as we keep the conversation going, even if, let's say we're doing budget talks right now, how do we come up with the number, the magic number, whether we're coming up with it today and talking about taking money out of contingency, or coming up with some number that we have no idea how big it's going to be at budget time. It sort of seems like a moving target. It sort of seems like a moving target at all.
my suggestion would be to start looking at the numbers during the budget process. I would take a 3-year average of what comp time has been earned by each department. So, you know, comp time earned by the jail is going to be different than comp time earned by the deputies, comp time earned by, you know, a couple other positions. And you just take a look at that, hit hard numbers. Then I can start calculating in the benefits, because, you know, benefits change every year, percentage change every year, and can give you a more detailed then. But to switch during the middle of the budget year, I would advise against that. It is still your vote, but I would advise against it.
Yeah.
Changing in the middle of the budget.
No,
What I was thinking is that if we could, and I've asked for this for the jail, I think I have it in my inbox for the jail, is to take the overtime pay that's been earned, and I maybe include the sheriff's department too, but it's analysis that I plan on working on this, and then taking the comp time that they have and looking and, you know, kind of best guessing what that comp time would cost us if we had to write a check for it when they leave, because there is turnover there in the jail. Or there's turnover in the jail. There's turnover everywhere, right? So take that number, see what it is, because it's time and a half. You know, it's time and a half overtime that's being shoved into comp time, and then recognizing that the sheriff's department, for the most part, is now fully staffed. And I'm using the sheriff's department as an example, but I think this applies to. I think this also applies to Shane's office, to Stacy Parker, who just gens up a lot of comp time. And then looking to see, here's what it would cost us for the exit on an annual basis, based on a look back over a period of time. And then recognizing that but we're going to go in this direction, what would it cost us if we just paid them the money now? And how would that affect our budget? Because theoretically, if we're fully staffed, we should have less comp. I think the comp time is driven by not being properly staffed. So that's what I've seen in the dispatch area where they were short of people. We're one away from getting that filled now, I believe, unless you've heard something this week that I'm not aware of. So, and we, lost a deputy. So there's there's a bit of fluctuation there, but if we're fully staffed, then that should eliminate, theoretically, unless there's some catastrophic event or some unexpected set of circumstances where we're having to transport people or do some extraordinary thing.
Yeah.
It should eliminate some of that. So, but that doesn't recover the cost. You're taking a future cost and then recovering it into today's problem.
Mm-hmm.
But it does give you the forward look of saying, okay, well, since we're fully staffed, that's already budgeted. Maybe going forward, it's not quite as big of a problem if it's properly managed and addressed accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
But you take like in Stacy's office where she's just one individual, or in our engineer's office, maintenance engineer's office, where we have 2 individuals and a massive amount of work that's been done. Maybe we need to add it. What we might understand from it is that we need to add another person, right? Because Shane's working extra time because he has no one else to delegate to. So I think that's the analysis that we need to do by area to see how much money are we spending or making or disenfranchising people, and then deciding how do we take some of the workload off, like we've taken some workload off of Stacy. How do we move some of that to somewhere else, or how can we pitch in and help, as the case may be. But
I did send y'all a comp time calculation report one time. I think it's been a couple of months ago. Of course, comp time changes every payroll and everything. So, but it was the jail comp time was half of the whole dollar amount of the whole report.
we also have people that are, that were at one time salaried, that are now non-salaried, that are now hourly due to a recent change in the law that's been appealed up to a higher court, and there's been no decision made on it. So we took the more conservative route of saying, okay, well, we're going to go with the most conservative route, which is we're going to pay hourly because we won't have to go back and try to recapture the overtime pay or be in violation of the law. So maybe another look at that would help. In the cases like where we have Stacy that clearly should not be an hourly employee, Stacy Parker, she should most likely be, a salaried employee, which would make her exempt. But that's not to say that she should be paid her exempt wage and have to work for free, cutting down trees.
Yeah.
In your analogy earlier, so I think it's a discussion that we really need to do. We need to take a hard look at it.
And the other topic in kind of reference to this, if, I'm going to use the jailers and deputies for the best example because that's obviously the most employees. If you want to begin paying overtime, it's some want comp time, some want overtime. The system does not work that way because everything that is calculated out is by their position. But that being said, also, if y'all are going to change it over, you're going to have to give Stacy time because even though it is still by position, she still has to go and go into every single employee to make adjustments. So this is not just an overnight press a button process. So there's going to have to be time. So, in case a policy is done, we need a time frame to give her the adequate space to be able to do what needs to be done in the system.
Did I misstate anything, Sheriff?
No, sir.
Okay.
The only thing I would add is typically, not even being short of people, is like we have an incident and it requires a deputy to take someone to a mental hospital. At least one deputy on the street, so we have to call someone to cover the street. Typically, we'll have 2 deputies on 24/7. Or if
I would like it addressed, I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
How it's achieved, I'm not sure, just because I don't want to take advantage of people. But I envision the salary. I envision salaries for Rains County this coming year are going to be a substantial part of our increase in cost. And so,
Can I ask a question? How does an employee get their comp time? They have to ask for it?
They take it off, like instead of taking off vacation, they take off comp time. Now, there are levels of comp time earned. Law enforcement can earn up to 480 hours. Non-law enforcement can earn up to 240. Once it hits those thresholds, then they have to be paid. So, but other than that, they would use it and substitute like for vacation.
Mr. Willis, I think you said this best. Comp time breeds comp time. That was your
Exactly right.
That's one of your quotes. So it's like someone takes comp time. Okay, well, it wasn't planned because we didn't know they were going to take it.
You have to give overtime to somebody
Well, it's
else
been
to go for
abused.
that overtime. So,
Yeah.
so it's just a cycle that never ends.
It never ends. And right now, for the sheriff's department specifically, it caps out at 480 hours, if I remember correctly. So after the 480 hours of comp time they earn, then they get paid overtime.
So the reason why I asked that is because I know that in the past there was an employee that he'd already taken off a week and he waited and called Monday morning, 15 minutes before he's supposed to be on the job, and said, "Hey, I've decided I'm going to take another week of comp time." So that's why I'm asking: do they have to ask for that, or can they just throw it out there to their department head?
That's going to be up to the department head on how they handle putting in for time off.
He lost his job, but
How's this handling this?
therefore, I thought that was the right thing to do. You can't just throw it out.
How do y'all handle request off for the comp time, Sheriff?
If they request time off, they have requested in 2 weeks, that's the approved, they get time off.
2
Okay.
weeks.
And then if they show up, or they do like that example that you explained,
Yeah.
would be no show.
Okay.
So that's how
No
that.
show.
Anything beyond that discussion, I think we'll leave it to another day, another topic.
Well, I was just
For this, for the
from
sheriff's
that
office,
comp time.
yeah.
I didn't know how
It
it all
is-
worked.
It's up to
They're the
each
biggest
department.
user.
The
Okay.
problem with us though is that we have so much comp time and so much vacation time. Also, people are capped out on vacation time, right?
Right.
So once you cap out vacation time, they don't earn any more vacation time.
Uh-huh.
You know, and go back to stereo, on that end, work 2 hours. Who wants to come and work 2 hours? In their mind, free because I get paid for it, right? It's just that comp time for that big to use. So that's the frustration we're doing.
Gotcha.
Thanks, budget talk.
Yes.
Definitely.
Now, was this? I didn't get. Was this?
Is that the
Jeremy.
policy?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Was this
the,
something you're wanting to do? Because it wasn't in my packet.
no, that's, the sheriff gave me that. I went over it with
Okay.
Stacy and with Tammy, and we discussed it and trying to come up with the best policy that's manageable, to help us come up with the number that we need to have. It's a booger, but I'm ready for it to be over with. So,
Yeah. Looking back on it, of course, that was in August of whenever it was last year. But I wish we had just written a check.
mhm.
What
Well, I know
like
employees
$90,000.
that
I don't know. If it,
don't get overtime, they don't want to work.
So I will make a motion to take no action today, but I will pinky swear that we will get this resolved at budget time. So,
Mike, would you think this through with him?
Yeah.
So long as he's here. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. Let's table it for now. Discuss and take action to approve the utilization of the Heritage Park for Poppers in the Park by the Women's Service Club. Jeremy, could put this on the agenda.
I move to approve.
Motion to approve.
hold on one second.
You don't want to do a second? You
Second,
didn't put it on the agenda?
third,
With this, in the 5 years, 6 years, 27 years that I've been sitting up here, things have changed. And now we try to do everything exactly right. We've got the insurance policy in there. The ladies with the Women's Service Club got I don't know if it was outrageous quote for the insurance for the event. I just reached out to my personal agent and said, hey, do you do this event insurance? He sent them a quote. They haven't got the insurance policy in force yet. And trying to think ahead, I asked him, I texted him last night at 8:30 and said, do they need a licensed pyrotechnician to make their insurance work? And he didn't know the answer, so he's waiting to get back to me. So I hate it for the Women's Service Club ladies, and I'll leave it up to the court. We've done it this way 100 years, except for last year. We made him get a licensed pyrotechnician, but the Class C fireworks don't require it. But if we're requiring them to have insurance, I would like to know that that check mark is taken care of.
The
So-
check mark being,
So the pyrotech is already insured, correct? Usually,
We don't require,
right?
what we set off, what the fireworks that we set off does not require a pyrotechnician.
Oh,
Because you
But-
just go to the local fireworks stand, it's always used in violence. We don't have the high powered, we can't afford anything like that.
Oh, there's a level.
We never had that until last year. when
gotcha.
We were forced to.
I guess the way I would try to break it down simply is if I have a fireworks show at my house, in my yard, and I buy the Class C
Your
fireworks,
homeowners.
and one tips over and shoots my neighbor, they're gonna come after me. I have insurance.
Right.
I just wanna make sure that the policy that you're getting says it's all right to do Class C fireworks without a pyrotechnician before we approve it. There's no doubt in my mind, I want the poppers in the park to happen. But if we require you to have insurance, I wanna make sure that the insurance policy that you're getting is fulfilling our requirements. Does that make sense?
You're requiring us to have the insurance for the park itself.
Yes. Yep. And Pam got did you get the quote or did Pam get the
Yes,
quote?
she said it too.
So
how
you
much
have
was the quote?
600 and something.
650 or less, it was less than 650.
But the agent wasn't, he didn't know the rules off the top of his head and he wanted to check with an underwriter to make sure that you didn't need a licensed pyrotechnician to qualify for that insurance policy. So he's checking on that. If they say no, then we're good to go. If they say yes, then we'll have to get with the guy that did it last year for free, and it'll still check the box. But just trying to make sure that there's no hiccups down the road before we approve it.
Well, there's nothing here that says that they have to have a licensed pyrotechnician, so it'd just be the insurance carrier, the underwriter.
Right. But if we approve it,
Can we approve it pending, insurance approval? That way they can go ahead and make plans.
I don't know why we couldn't. I mean, it's a huge event for the county.
I'm good with whatever. I just didn't want to put the court in a bind to make a decision on something that,
Who operates the pyrotechnic? Who does that?
Who does what?
Who fires off the fireworks? Your grandson? How old is he?
Well, first year my oldest did.
For about 10 years, my kids did.
This is our 12th year doing it. And, yeah, we just had my husband and my grandsons. Has done it.
Are they insured?
It's just Medicare.
Well, how far, and what's the distance that those things fire off? It's like, what is it, just a firecracker?
no, they're real fireworks.
They go up in the air?
Yeah.
They're pretty impressive.
What when is that, what's the date?
July 4th.
July the 4th.
Really?
What's
What's the date?
That's right.
He knows what I'm talking about. I know when July the 4th is. Well, I nominate.
And y'all 250th birthday of America. So I feel, I have more attention than, the county.
You'll get the rest of the story in a minute.
July the 4th is on a Saturday.
It's on a Saturday. No. It's something else. It's meant as a day.
I have a question. What if we required, right? So the pyrotechnician last year, what he did was he set up balance, right? That was the biggest thing, was making sure that spectators were so far away and all that stuff. What if we do the same thing? We require the same plans. We require this.
It's in the same every year, Corey.
I understand, but we also have to have a leg somewhere. So if we require the same standards set forth by the pyrotechnician last year, and the insurance doesn't require a pyrotechnician to be present, then can we just abide by that and move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right with that personally, but I didn't want to.
Well, what if the county just fires the fireworks off ourselves?
I'll be in Colorado.
Actually, that's what we did. Commissioner Godwin and I did.
I think we should just do that and then eliminate state liability entirely.
It's not turned exactly wrong.
Yeah.
So
I guess I don't, and maybe I'm so shell shocked by lawyers of the legal system that I can't even see straight anymore. But if you fire it off and it hits
You're
me,
liable, really.
You're going to sue the county.
the county's still liable.
Really?
So,
that's what I'm saying.
but if the insurance policy says whatever, licensed,
We're going to get
unlicensed,
sued anyway.
Really?
More than likely,
So
if somebody gets hurt.
it doesn't require a Class C license.
I have a motion out there to approve, and I'll amend it to pending securing appropriate insurance.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the poppers and the fireworks,
Offers in the park.
poppers in the park agreement, subject to them obtaining the required insurance to fire off the fireworks. Is there a second?
I second it.
He seconded it.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. That motion passes. Discuss and take action to approve the library strategic plan. I'll make that in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. And that.
Morning.
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 Move the microphone up a little bit. There you go.
Anything special? Were there any changes from the last time, or?
There were a few. It wasn't very significant. There were minor things like, for example, we had goals with our physical CD audiobooks, which we're trying to weed out because they don't circulate well. So we took that out as a goal, that kind of thing. Just things that were not relevant anymore.
Okay.
I could send you the previous one.
Not for me. I was just curious.
The purpose of this is to create traffic in the library primarily, and, the programs that you'll be.
Yes, just to kind of
Provided.
guide the direction that the library's going long term. And it's also something that we have to have for accreditation. It's a strategic plan.
I wrote on the resolution that, assuming that we vote on today, that it would be approved, and that as you wrote on your application, that it would be reviewed annually, and if there are any substantial or material changes to the agreement, bring those to us within 30 days of the revision of those.
Each year?
Each year,
Okay.
yeah. If you make a material change, because you said that you might want to change it every year.
We will, we have to review it every
So
year.
as you change those every year, if it's a material change, you can bring it back. Otherwise, this way, I guess through 2020, 2031, I guess, potentially. Does that make sense? Unless there's a material change.
So we don't have to approve it, that.
We'll approve it, but unless you had a, let's say you did something materially different, then you'd need to bring it back to the court, but other than that, it would just last until 2031.
Okay.
Right. So it gives you a little bit of discretion as to whether you bring it or not.
For accreditation, does it have to be approved every year? I think it does. I know that we've done it every year.
Every year.
Reviewed it every year. Had it on the agenda to
I'm not
approve
sure.
it.
It shouldn't change significantly.
There's a couple of board members back there shaking their head yes. That look like they've been on the board for a while.
Yes. This year we had a few changes just because of the leadership change.
So should we change this then to be approved every year?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say so.
It needs to change every year because of what
Oh yeah, it does say that it shall be reviewed and updated by the library board annually and provided to us for approval. So I'll just draw a line through that.
Can I ask a question? So, in one of your objectives, it talks about that you are for Rains County children, but for Yanis. Is there a reason why Yanis was specifically talked about?
I think it was just one of the target audiences that we promote our summer reading programs.
Oh, okay. We don't have any kind of agreement or something.
Oh, no, nothing.
Oh, okay. But it's talked about distribute summer reading brochures to Rains and Yanis. But does that go out to other schools or just Yanis?
In the past, it's just been Rains and Yanis.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just wondering what that was all about. Why Yanis? It does say surrounding schools, so. Okay.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye. So that
Aye.
passed unanimously. Good job bringing that up.
Sorry, I should have said this. Is this something that anybody can acquire that they can look at? The strategic plan?
I don't have
Are
it
you
posted
putting it?
publicly.
Are you going to post it somewhere?
I mean, I can. It's mainly for our board, though.
It's just your board. Well, there's just a lot of reading in here that I think that there are certain people, they can obviously see that this board does a whole lot that is behind the scenes, it looks like, that people don't really know. And so, and it is a board of 12 people.
It would be posted in the public minutes.
Well, I know, but just so they should go and look at it. Yeah.
If
Okay.
somebody
I just
wanted
wondered
a
if
copy,
it was.
could you make them a copy if they can?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
pull it up on the computer and you
Yes.
can read it?
Oh, okay, good.
I can post it to our website too. That would be hard to do.
I think that's a
Okay.
good idea.
I think
It's
that's a great
There's
idea.
nothing secretive in it. So.
No.
Great. I'd love for you to do that.
Demonstrates our attempt to comply with the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Do you want that in the form of a motion, Laura? or-
Oh, yeah, I'd like to make a motion that the strategic plan be put on the library website.
So the motion to amend our prior approval to add the addition of the fact that it needs to be posted on the website, I'll second that. All those in favor? Aye, that passed unanimously.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Discuss and take action on signing a resolution, for the county judge to sign the Dolly Parton Imagination Library Grant application on behalf of Rains County DPIL. Christy, what is DPIL? Dolly Parton, oh, the library, yeah, yes.
It's kind of like the 4th of July.
I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Have a second? You want to add anything to that? It costs any money?
No, there's no county money. They're getting children in the community through age 5 gets a free book every month that they sign up for the program. It's free for all.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
It's mailed directly to their house.
Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. That passed unanimously. Thank you, Christy. Discuss and take action on signing a resolution to apply for the Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A grant with a 20% match. Christie Hopkins, I'll make that in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second?
All right, originally I wanted to do the same planning grant that we were doing for Build, but this grant has a 20% match. So I would like to suggest that we do a pedestrian safety plan to address crosswalks and connecting county buildings, library, any major thing in town that you would like that to connect to. And this would also be a planning grant. And I would like to suggest it be $650,000. So that would be 520 grant and 130 county. However, we can do the 130 county all or mostly in-kind match. So that's not cash.
Okay, so that's,
So this will be an in-kind match.
It can,
I like those.
yeah.
so it's a $650,000, you're gonna ask for
I would
$650,000.
like to ask for $650 for the planning grant to do pedestrian safety, so sidewalks, anything that involves crosswalks.
Okay. And 20% of that was,
County match, but we can do in kind, all of it, if you would like.
okay, so does your resolution state? I think on this resolution, I'd be more comfortable with adding the cap on it,
Sure.
just so, because it's authorizing me to do it kind of independently, and I don't want to have that
As
responsibility.
in 20% match.
Well, just the total 650 and a 20% match.
Sure, I can edit it and bring it.
Yeah, so we could do that. So I'll amend my prior motion to say that this would be capped at $650,000 without prior approval from the court, and the 20% in-kind grant or cash grant, as the case may be, whatever you figure out.
We can do in kind.
In-kind, okay. Is there who seconded that earlier?
Second.
Second, okay. So have a motion and a second on that. Any kind of questions or comments? All those in favor, aye. That motion passes. Discuss and take action on signing a resolution for the county judge to sign the TWDB flood management evaluation, FME1 for small communities interest affirmation, Christie Hopkins. I'll make that in the form of a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
For the second?
So this will be no cost to the county. It's Texas Water Development Board. They're going to do flood planning, drainage, all that kind of stuff. So the only requirement of the county would to be appoint somebody to be a representative to meet once a month during this planning program, which would be like 18-ish months. And I'm sure you can meet virtually.
Who do you think that should be?
Well, I'll think of it.
Can it be Ronnie?
Ronnie Morgan.
I mean, I don't know anybody else that it
Joe
would be.
Parker is the floodplain
Yeah.
coordinator.
Okay.
One of those two.
We have a floodplain manager, but
Is that you? Oh, you're passing.
We don't have to state that now, though.
We don't have to take that now. Let's
Not
Yeah.
the settlement agreement,
You got a motion to approve in a second.
have a motion to approve. A second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, aye. Where's got a beep somewhere in a few minutes. Discuss and take action on signing resolution for the county judge to sign the Texas Indigent Defense Improvement TIDC grant program application, no match. I'll make that in form of a motion.
Second.
Second. Discussion.
So this is just, oh,
All those in
Yeah.
favor?
I'm assuming you're asking what's for.
What will this do for us?
So it's just any kind of equipment that the indigent coordinator would need. So new computer, new monitors, possibly a scanner. It could be any large ticket items that they would use in the residential. No match.
No brainer.
We have a lot of indigents in Rains County, both at the jail and in the counties. Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
That passed unanimously. Discuss and take action on the Agri-Life Department occupying the Childhood Advocacy Building. Commissioner Northcutt.
I make a motion that we discuss that, please.
Second.
Motion and a second.
The Ag Law.
All those in favor, aye.
Oh,
We're good on that.
the Advocacy Center has been vacated and moving on with our 2, 3, 4 year plan to move AgriLife into the Child Advocacy Center building. And therefore we could, it's not on the agenda, but what we're going to do with the AgLife building, the existing AgLife building. So I would like for that building to be occupied by AgriLife Extension Agent Sarah and Sue Calamara.
I will say that I've personally never been in the child advocacy building. So I think before, we've already discussed
Sarah has.
previously.
Jeremy has.
to-
I have. Mike has.
Go ahead.
Everybody's been in there.
Okay. Then go ahead.
Well, everybody but Corey.
What I was saying was, we've said we're going to do it. Well, we'll go ahead and say, I did try to get in there, but keys have been missing.
Oh,
Mr. Doug,
who has the keys?
Sarah's got the keys.
Sarah's got the keys.
Who had the keys?
So I was going to suggest that before, we can say we're going to move them in there. We've already said it before. We just have to look at it and see. We're going to get bids, see what it's going to take to build it out to suit them best. And so
There's a cost with it.
always a cost. With it.
Is it one open building, Lori, or is it?
No, it's got several
Offices.
offices. Mhm.
Did the-
Got a main office and several other offices,
Okay.
bathrooms.
Are you thinking that we could step in and use it, or does it need to be
I think they could step in and use it.
freshened up a little bit? I think
Well,
move in it.
probably need some vacuuming. And
We're going to go walk the buildings pretty soon.
Yeah.
We figured it. We'll sit then.
it's a very nice
And we'll get
building.
an extra set of keys at that point, so you'll always have them.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, we have a motion and a second on that. All those in favor? Aye, that
Aye.
passed unanimously.
Thank you. Been a long time coming.
Discuss and take action to approve the road, the resolution for a road use agreement with Lori Northcutt.
Yes.
I'm going to make that in form of a motion.
Yes, move to approve the
Have a motion
resolution.
to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second? Any discussion?
Yes, when we approved this a few months ago, it was all put together, the resolution and the agreement. So I just wanted to separate the resolution out by itself so that the agreement can be given to anyone that uses any of our roads, county roads. It's just a separation of the two. I have them if anybody wants to look at them again. Any discussion? Sorry? Sorry,
I'm looking at
I
it.
interrupted you. I thought you was fixing the table. Jeremy?
So we approved it before,
Yeah.
when our council was here. And so we approved it. The way I believe it got approved is it got approved as one item.
Yes.
And Lori's request is that you just separate it out so that the road use agreement can act independently upon itself without the resolution being handed out every time.
Okay.
Correct.
All those in favor of that? Say aye.
Uh,
Aye, that passed unanimously. Discuss and take action for the repair, replacement, and installation of various windows in the courthouse. Commissioner Northcutt.
I move to approve that. And I apologize, but this morning at 9 o'clock, I finally got back with the other historical company that repairs the windows, and they would like to come out and look and give us a bid on it. And I have talked to Maria. with Texas Historical Commission, and she is in approval of them also. So within the next week, they are going to come out and give us a bid. So I'd like to put it on the next agenda for y'all to look at both bids and decide what you'd like to do going forward.
Is that a motion?
That is my motion.
Second.
It's a long one.
We have a motion and a second to do what?
To accept another bid for the
To
windows.
accept another bid. All right.
Just waiting on another.
We're waiting on another bid. Remember, we'd only had one bid, only one person get back to us.
Yeah, okay, so we have a motion and a second to
Put it on the agenda.
put it on the agenda for the
For
next
the
time.
next,
Sorry.
yes, please, Diane.
All those in favor say aye. Did you get that, Mandy? Okay. Read that?
I forwarded an email from the lady.
I think what I'm gonna do is, I guess we'll just, so the time is now
Good.
11:41 a.m. I'll accept the motion to go into a public hearing.
So moved.
Motion. Go into a public hearing for the Ranks County Library to use the $10,000 ALA accessibility grant. With a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye. That passed unanimously. Please, let's proceed with this. Bernadette, you want to come up and tell us what's going on, and maybe Christie as well? Tell us what y'all have up your sleeve.
Right, so we already have this grant, we've already received it. We received $10,000 for accessibility at the library. And I wrote the grant to address the front doors, the 2 front doors, make them automatic and for the ramp. However, we are having the public discussion to hear from the community and make sure those are the priorities that they want to address this year. We can apply for this grant again next year and address more things. However, we want to make sure that the ramp and the front doors are what need to be addressed first. So we have questions we can ask, but I have a feeling that y'all would just rather come up and share your opinions on how it should be. So y'all can come up however you want, address what you would like to see the money used for, if you want something different done, or if you're in support of this.
And after all the work we've done,
Come on up.
to speed up time, do we want to forego what we are going to say and just say, no? No, okay. Never mind.
I don't think so.
Come on. Go for it, Cheryl.
Hi. No.
My name is Diana Bevins. I am the current Vice President of the Library Board, and we're here to address utilizing the money, the grant that was given, the $10,000 grant, to help our library get accessible for the handicapped. Previously, I injured my ankle a few years ago, broke my ankle, was on crutches in a wheelchair for an extended period of time. I was unable to utilize the library at all because there was no way I was going to be able to get in the door with crutches. So I'm an advocate that this is something that the community needs. We have the funds available. The lady over here, she has applied for it, and the library has been working really hard to get estimates. So we feel that is a top priority for our community, and we're here to support that. And we want to bring that to the court and have you all approve it so we can get going and get that done for our citizens of Rains County. Thank you.
So the ramp would be, you'd prefer the ramp, if there's a limited set of funds. So if it was $10,000, how much is the ramp going to cost?
So we should be able to get the ramp and the doors, and maybe even the back entrance as well, possibly.
Okay.
With the $10,000. Is
Right.
what Shane is.
Okay, so as I understand it, this needed to be brought forward so the public could decide and agree that this is the right thing to do.
These are the priorities.
These are the priorities. So is there anyone that's here today that would disagree with those priorities as they've been studied. So we'd use it for the ramp, the doors, and then if money's left over, we'll go to the back door. Is that correct?
And well, we actually, I forgot to mention, we did have the company that did the Clark building come out and do an assessment. And so we do have a full list that we can provide of things that need to be done. There's also one more thing that we would like to put in. There's a lip on the front door that they want reduced to a plain plate so that there's not a tripping or a mobility hazard to get over that. So we can provide that list as well. But those are the things that are going to cost the most.
And everyone here agrees with that.
Oh, yeah.
That set of things to do, right? Okay. Well, but there were two others that wanted to come up to speak. Do you want to come up and speak?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
They want me to talk because I'm the handicapped.
Yes, you're inspiration.
Okay.
Honestly.
Sounds like a good reason.
I live in Plateau, and I've lived here since 2020. And certainly I've always been an avid reader and prefer the library. I've been a board member for 3 years of the 5 I've been here, and I understand what a wonderful library system this small town has, and I love using it. But as a handicapped person, getting in that door is ridiculous. And while I'm up here, I'm going to have to say that Emory is not a very friendly town for the handicapped. You don't realize those things until you become handicapped. Like going to the Chinese restaurant or the Pizza Hut. I can't do it because I'm terrified I'm going to fall off into the street. Our own wonderful courthouse, we've built a beautiful ramp, but the front lip getting into it is all like torn up. So I had to have to haul up. And then getting up, once again, I can't get in the door. And one day I was up here to pay for a license, and a lady popped up and opened the door for me, and she goes, "Why isn't that door an automatic?" And I said, okay, so that's just what I'm going to say about that. Also, the mindset of those of us who are handicapped, especially the older generation, we don't ask for help. Because I have people go, "Oh, just call."
No, that's right.
Someone will open the door for you. We don't ask for help. I don't want help. I want to have it available to me at any time when I go there. And just to demonstrate, when you get up there, you like this, so you pull the door and you get your shoulder in real quick. And you don't get your shoulder in, you gotta get your hip in there. And if I don't do that, then it's popped me out before. It's really difficult.
And then you don't want to fall off the
also
steps either.
Hmm?
The steps are pretty close to the door.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, I'm surprised somebody hasn't got hurt.
Mhm.
And I've worked for years with the library sales. And we have a gentleman in a wheelchair, and he always wants the Louis L'Amour books. I can't imagine how he gets into the library. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. It shouldn't be that hard. So in conclusion, I'm going to say that what we need to remember is that the public library is a privilege. And it is access to the public library is for everyone. But I want you to remember that everyone is also someone like me. So those automatic doors would be such a blessing for this community. And we have an older generation community as it is. So easy access is going to get more time for people to go to the library. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Marcia Rexstraw, are you going to come up and speak or no?
Let's go ahead and do her.
All right.
Come on, Dan.
Saving the best for last or what? Or sending the best first? I don't know.
Okay, my name is Jane Dillon. I live at 600 County Road, 1944, Emory. In the past, I have been very active on the library board, the Friends of the Library, Friends of the Library Board. So I was very active several years ago when we refreshed and remodeled the library. And I'm so pleased to see this final step. We couldn't work into that budget. About 10 years ago, we did that because we needed it badly. since I was in that group, I spent a brief time using a walker, and I can't imagine trying to get in that door. So I have to say, I have been extremely impressed with this commissioners meeting with the work of Miss Christie Hopkins, all of the grants she has pulled for you, explained for you. Good move to hire her.
Thank you, ma'am.
She tell you to say that?
And then,
Okay, real quick, I'll real fast, you know I can. My name is Marcia Registrar, 4184, 2324 in Texas. And, our good friend Linda Brendo, most of y'all know Linda Brendo from the newspaper, she writes her little City Girl article. I called her, I said, Linda, we gotta get this promoted. So she did a cute little article and put my email address. I need input from the public. Therefore, Mary Kroger wrote me. I read the article, would like to help spread the word about the library's need for automated doors so that those with mobility issues can easily gain access without a struggle. My husband and I are relocating to Emory from Dallas. We've donated at least 10 full bags of books. It would be difficult to just open the books while struggling to open the doors is unimaginable. How can people with assisted mobility devices or mothers with strollers and other children in tow do this? Please consider funds to go towards automated door. Best wishes. Sherry Dennis wrote, after reading Linda Brendo's column about Grantley, I agree wholeheartedly we need to get automatic doors for the library. Due to the large elderly population, as well as families with children that need helping inside, this is money well spent. I also dropped off a little flyer that Bernadette made at all the doctor's offices around here in Dennis office, okay? And our dear, wonderful Carrie Goodwin Wilson, APRNFNPC, from Original Family Practice at Emory, Rocky Mountain. I am writing to express the significant value that automatic doors would bring to our library and the many community members who rely on it as a shared public space. The library services individuals with a wide range of mobility issues, and improving accessibility strengthens its roles as an inclusive resource for everyone. Automatic doors would greatly assist mothers and caregivers with strollers who often struggle to maneuver through manual doors while managing children and belongings. A simple improvement would make their visits safer, smoother, and far less stressful. It would also provide essential support for individuals with disabilities, including those who use walker canes or have limited upper body strength. For wheelchair users, automatic doors are not just convenience, they are a matter of independence and dignity, allowing them to enter and exit the building without needing assistance. Installing automatic doors would demonstrate the library's commitment to accessibility, safety, and equal access to public services. It's practical, meaningful upgrade, benefiting a large portion of our community each single day. Thank you for your consideration and your continued dedication to make the library more place for all. Guys, that doesn't just cover our library. As she said, the courthouse. Every county building is inaccessible in some way to our handicapped population. Tracy, wherever you're at. Hey, girlfriend, you're it. Find us some money. We've got to bring Park County, make it again, such as we keep preaching. The library is a public library. It represents every person in this county. So are these county buildings. And one more, Janet Smith Vaughn texted me. The life of the library isn't on paper. It's not the paper. It's in the humanity of compassion, interaction, and connection with that one finds and actually going to a library. We need it. Thank y'all. And thank you for getting us this money, and thank you for more money, and thank you for that.
thank you. All right, so any other public comments on this matter?
Well, I'm on board. You know, you really don't think about it until it affects you. You know, Diane's mobility is going down, and anytime you go in any kind of building, anywhere, it's difficult.
And that's where the grants have gone.
And I'm not talking about just county; it's
Any
everywhere.
building.
So,
Corey, I guess that'd be something you'll help with the contracting of all this stuff and work with Ms. Wolf and getting the contractors to sign agreements and provide all the insurance.
I believe I asked, tried to pass that to Commissioner Cook a couple months ago, but I'll take it. I got it. We'll handle it.
You want him to do it?
No, I got it.
Okay. We'll prepare the paperwork.
I'll do it, but I won't be here.
And going forward, I'll talk to the historical commission about our doors here at the courthouse.
All right, then I'll accept a motion to go out of the, well, so I guess the plan would be then is we'll put this on our next agenda to actually approve it because we failed to include that as an approval item today.
We don't need the approval, just wanted, because y'all already approved the grant for this.
Oh, we did, okay.
You did.
And then I'm approved to
And so
sign
we're just
everything.
making sure, yeah.
Well, perfect, okay. So,
I move we come out of the public hearing.
have a motion to come out of public hearing. It's now 11.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
We're out of public session.